Okay, here we go.
Oh! What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? What is this shit? What is this shit? Oh, I did it! Woo! I did it.
I'm a smart kid.
Oh, what the fuck?
I'm having a fucking meltdown right now. Are you kidding me?
Yes! Woo!
Trouble the soul of my mind.
Oh!
How is it?
Oh.
I look like one of those fishes from under the ocean. Did I not save after Cerebus? What? I'm a smart kid.
Ooh, this guy. He's stressing me out.
I look like one of those fishes from under the ocean.
Here it is. Here it is. Get fucked, nerd. Yes. That's what we're working on today.
And we are live. And of course, Discord is not cooperating. They can hear you. They cannot see you guys yet, but I'm going to fix that right now.
Oh. Discord being a dick.
It's picking the wrong window because it's trying to use the other room.
Yeah.
There we go. There's our beautiful faces. Is that all lined up? It looks like it's lined up okay. It looks like it's lined up a little wonky. Let me fix it. Hello, people.
Hey.
How's Twitch doing?
Make my
Yeah,
square
this is-
bigger, butt.
Your square's the right size. Your green screen's off. I got to line everything up here. Nudge, nudge, nudge with the arrow keys. There we go. We can move you over a little
play
bit.
my green screen. Oh, okay.
Yeah, your green screen. You can see some of your
Well,
wall.
I'm not talking about that over there.
Okay, well, whatever. This is the proper alignment of everything. All right, let's stop that music. How's everybody doing? How you guys doing? How you doing, Chard? How you doing, Captain Dark? How you doing, Paul?
We're good.
I'm
Good
good.
enough.
Good.
I still
All right.
love how you turned my name into something that sounds derogatory. Hey, Paul.
I wanted to
Paul?
call because I'm calling everybody by their Twitch names, but your Twitch name is That Family Games, and your Twitch name is 3 People. So I had to remember your actual name.
Remember my name?
which is hard to do with your friends, is to remember their actual names, because you're usually calling them son of a bitch or something like that.
Wow.
Or spelling their name correctly.
Or spelling their name incorrectly, yeah, or telling them to suck blue cheese.
Or somehow
some shit
finding
like
that Captain and Chard both rhyme.
Yeah. Somehow they
there's
do.
that, yeah.
Somehow they do. Captain and Chard, their rhymes, whether you know it or not. Yeah. Dude, I'm resisting the urge to read chat, but I don't even have my chat window open. It's kind of weird.
Just close it up, baby.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
hit
just
that little
close it
arrow
up,
and
yeah.
watch it go.
Yeah. So we're here to talk about retro gaming and our origins on retro, about ourselves a little bit. We're here to talk about Chardmonk especially. We're here to highlight him. We're here to, just kind of bring some interesting new content to the Twitch retro community and Twitch content creation in general. And just basically, just work on community and build community and talk about community and that's really about it. How many times am I going to say community? I don't know. A bunch more times. Anyway,
Turn it into a drinking game.
Yeah. So anyway, we got Chardmonk here.
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys were watching some clips of him. How you doing, Chardmonk?
I'm good, but I think everybody's sick of me saying fucking nerd every 10 seconds.
Are you kidding? That's the best thing you say. I love that. I tune in just for that.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Put it on.
I stole that from somebody, so I can't claim it as my own. It just is said a lot in my stream.
Oh yeah, we got merch man number 2 over here.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got 2 merch guys down at the bottom, on the bottom of your screen there.
Yes, I did get some merch done, and I actually got a hoodie on the way for myself. So
Nice dude. Is it just
I'm at
say
that
have your
level.
logo on it, or
And
what's it
you'll
look
note
like?
I am not
Yeah.
Can
wearing
you describe
any
it?
of mine, so
No, you're not wearing your shit. I'm sure you'll save that for your episode.
Paul, I'll DM you when I get them, and then we can totally go ham.
There you go. We could do a Photoshop of you guys together high-fiving or something, or I don't know.
We're close.
Tweaking-
Well, I don't know.
tweaking
You
each
and
other's
Captain Dark
nipples.
are pretty
Yeah.
close, and I would guess that me and Paul are both considered fairly close. so.
All right, it'd be like,
Wait,
a long
okay,
drive
might as well
out.
be over here.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I literally have a
We
wall
are not
to
doing
go.
this right. We are not doing this right at all.
This is some Brady Bunch ass shit going on here.
No.
Here's a story about a man named Chardy. He was doing a stream of his very own.
Yeah.
Also, this is
Four
the
men
Chardmonk
living
thing?
all together. They were doing a podcast. What?
That doesn't rhyme.
Let's
move on.
Have to.
Let's move
It
on.
just has to. Just
Steve
has that
said-
cadence. Just these
Steve
cadence.
said Paul isn't loud enough.
Is Paul too quiet? Paul, talk.
Talking. Hey, how's it going?
Is that better? I turned him up. Hopefully that's better. Well, you have to keep talking. They don't hear you if you don't talk.
No.
All right,
There it is.
That was probably
It's like
too
how
loud.
we're not going to hear you if you don't say something.
Professional.
Right.
That's the point, isn't it? It's like, yeah, let's just turn Paul down.
Turn him down a little bit.
But we can't hear Paul.
But we know. That's the point. We don't want you to hear Paul.
Achievement unlocked.
Achievement unlocked. Yeah. So yeah, Chard and I have been doing. We've been knowing each other for a long time. We've been knowing each other since we started doing Twitch, pretty much. At least since I started doing Twitch. You were one of the first people that I got to know, and we got to know each other through a certain charity event. I guess we'll go ahead and say the name of it, DGDS, which unfortunately doesn't exist anymore. But that's kind of where we met up, and Chard and Captain Dark, and that's kind of where we got to know each other too. But yeah, you want to talk anything about that or about the early days?
Shit. When I first started doing the stream thing, I was literally streaming from my Xbox Connects and playing Titanfall and a terrible game called Kane and Lynch 2. Don't ever play it. Garbage. And I was rolling with my good buddy Lord Optic, which most of you have probably seen popping around my streams. He's my best friend in real life. Lives down the street from me. And just kind of evolved from there. And I was trying to settle into something I wanted to do. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a PC for the good first, 7 or 8 years. Wow, that hasn't been that long. Months that I've been streaming. And I was trying to just save money together, and then met the DGDS crew. Formed very tight bonds with all of them, and worked out getting a PC and decided I would start streaming some retro. And then from retro, everybody else was kind of doing the same retro things. I wanted to find my niche in retro.
Right.
And I decided to start doing RPGs. We did go ahead. Yeah.
No, finish your point. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I started doing RPGs. That was kind of my point. I was going to go into detail, but I could talk forever. So I'll let you ask the questions.
Well,
there's actually questions to ask.
That's what this is about. So you said you just decided to do retro. Was there something that made you think, hey, I want to do retro? Was there some kind of externality that happened that triggered that in you, or was that something that you just had fond memories of and say, you know what, I miss the games I used to play growing up. I think I would like to share that. And do a live stream of the games that I cherished as a child, or maybe games that I never got to, or was there something else that triggered that in you?
I think the community that was involved with retro. Traz from Australia was probably my biggest retro person that got me involved in the DGS. He was kind of my gateway to everybody else. Was Traz.
Traz is awesome. Yeah.
And he does all the hard mode stuff, and I would just die laughing while, and I was kind of like, this retro thing seems kind of cool. I remember a lot of these games, and there's games when I was young that I never got to finish or never even played, and now I have the opportunity to do it. So let's try streaming that. So that's cool. That's kind of how I fell into it, and then the rest is kind of history. Just all. Turn into whatever. We go into detail further.
And what drew you to the RPGs in specifically?
Captain Dark's not going to like this, but big Final Fantasy fan. Ever since I was young, it's the first RPG I ever played.
I don't hate Final Fantasy.
Yes,
we have a lot of conversation about this, I'm sure. A really good family friend of mine growing up had Final Fantasy 1, and we used to go over to their house and play the games there, and I grew up watching them play that, and a lot of people didn't like him. And I guess to try to be cool with everybody, I said, "Well, I fucking like Final Fantasy because I also did D&D when I was younger too."
Oh, sure.
And it's based off of that. At least Final Fantasy 1 is primarily based off of that. And then we don't get 2, 3, we get 4, but it's 2.
Right.
And then we don't get 5, and we get 6, but it's 3.
That is crazy. Back then, yeah.
2 in the States, 4 in real life, was the first RPG/video game that I could remember being like, I am in love with this game because of the story. The music stuck out to me. I used to play Galvez's theme song on a keyboard. I can't anymore because I'm not talented.
Right.
And it just stuck with me from that end on. And then I didn't think anything could top that. And then Final Fantasy 3 came out.
6.
I didn't think anything could top that.
Yeah.
And then I was right.
Right.
So, and then Chrono Trigger came out, and this friend of mine I grew up with, all we ever did was play RPGs and Mario and stuff like that.
Cool.
And as I got older, I drifted away from gaming and then wanted to go into broadcasting and went to school to be a broadcaster, took journalism, did all of that shit. And then Lord Optic, who is the gateway to a lot of things that I do now on here, was like, you ever heard of this Justin TV thing? And I was like, no. He's like, well, they changed the name, called Twitch. You should check it out. Okay. So I pop on, and there's people playing video games and talking to people, to hundreds of people, because, of course, I'm on the front page. So I just assume everybody's getting
Everybody gets that.
500 fucking people.
Mhm.
And I went, nobody wants to see my dumbass do that. And he was like, give it a shot. Just see what happens. We'll play together. And we did Dying Light together, and we did Titanfall and Kane and Lynch 2. And it was just he and I just playing. And I got like, you get like 2 or 3 follows for 3 months or whatever from it.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to really kick this thing up. So we kicked it up, and I got a computer, got into retro, did this all marketing and networked with all of you guys. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to fucking really hit this RPG thing. And a lot of people told me not to do it, but I said, fuck it. This is going to be my niche. And we did a year of Final Fantasy, and I played 1 through 15 all of last year. Gal, I don't know if that should be right if Gal's listening. It should have been like, 1 through 15 all of last year. But I played them out of order because they're not really in order. And I thought that would bring some interest to be like, let's play one from the SNES. Let's play one for the PlayStation or Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play one for the NES, and let's kind of shuffle these things around. And that's where it came from. And then from there, we decided let's play a lot of RPGs. And I played Tales of Fantasia.
Now, did you have any kind of strategy as to the order in which you played the Final Fantasy games? Did you say, well, this one leads well into this one, or this one, has this type of mechanic, and this one shares that, so maybe I'll play them back to back, or maybe I don't want them back to back, and I'll separate them? Was there any kind of decision making in there, or was it
it was
based on how
it
you
was organized?
Felt?
It was organized chaos. It was I played 15 first because I bought it.
That's how I
wanted to play
too.
it.
Yeah.
So I was just doing my thing, and I beat it, and I went, well, why don't I play the other one? So I played 4 because of my story. And then I went, let's play 6 because 6 is my favorite. And I played 6. And then I went, let's keep going. And then I grabbed, I think we did, 7. And then we did 2, and then 13, and then fucking It's a lot of fucking games in that series.
Yeah.
And then we finished it. I think I finished with 10, which was the first Final Fantasy I played on my own without a strategy guide and without assistance as a kid, and I beat it. So I left that
Just
for last
blind,
because that holds a
Nice.
it was blind as a kid, but I remember it as an adult.
Oh,
So
sure.
it held a lot of water to me, so I ran with that one, and that's how we finished it out. And man, that was fun. It was
You were
a
saying that
relief
there
when
a
we
lot
were
of
done.
warnings. There were a lot of warnings from people, a lot of folks who were saying that you shouldn't do this. What was kind of the central gripe that you were hearing? Was it about the game choices, or about something about the game, the mechanics? What was it?
Grinding is not entertaining. It is not watching someone do the same thing over and over again, although a lot of us are pretty heavy into the retro community, retro achievements community, which is a whole nother podcast altogether.
Oh, yeah.
And watching people do the same thing over and over, especially in like Final Fantasy 1 for the NES. A lot of people don't like to watch you just do the same shit for I think I grinded for grinded. Are we making coffee? I don't know. For at least an hour and 45 goddamn minutes. Just to get to level 10 so that we could beat the goddamn game. So, it's just a lot of people don't like to sit through that. But I said, you know what? I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to take up arms, and we turned it into something, and it was actually turned out really good. And I have a community out of it. So
A great community.
I love doing it.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a wonderful, wonderful community. Yeah.
So now my question is, I know you already know my question, but
Here it comes.
on a serious note, I know you said you enjoyed Tales of Fantasia mostly until you got to the end. So what was it about the end that bothered you? because like you played Final Fantasy 1 through 15 throughout the whole year. I played each and every Final Tales of game in 1 year as well. So that just intrigues me of why you hated the ending of Tales of Fantasia.
I didn't hate it. I was frustrated. I did a lot of grinding. And there's item management. It felt like there was some item management. And when you get to the last boss,
Deos.
when you get to Deos, I had to use everything I had to get my ass up the damn tower. That by the time I got there, I didn't have like anything to. And I'm a hoarder. I don't use shit. Like people are like, use the elixir. I'm like, no, I don't want to use the fucking elixir. I might need it later. And they're like, you're on the last boss. I don't care. It might help me get a better ending. I don't know. I don't use my items for shit. And this one I did. I had to. I didn't have a choice. So when I finally got there, he was just wiping the floor with me. There was no save. There was no quick way out of the tower to walk my ass all the way down out of the tower to the town to get more shit and then come back up, fight him again. I was heated. I was so mad. I was annoyed. Game's great though. On all bullshit aside, with me and Captain Dark joke about this because he loves Tales, and
they
I
love
like
each
Final
other.
Fantasy. But it's a great series, and what Tales did for you into the RPG era is what Final Fantasy did for me in my RPG. And I know Final Fantasy is, I don't want to say it's a lot more popular, but it's probably on more people's lips than Tales is, because I know a lot of friends and a lot of people that are like, Tales is better than Final Fantasy, hands down, and more than just you. But more people, I guess, are aware, I guess, of FF than they are of Tales, and it's unfair because Tales is actually
I'll tell you what,
extremely well designed.
I've never played any of the Tales, but I've watched a couple of Captain Dark stream when he's playing it, and I didn't really follow the game that closely, but the music in that and the art style in those games, top notch, untouchable. It's a beautiful game.
The fighting is cool too, because it's almost it's real time fighting. You are controlling the characters. It's not turn based. I mean, it is turn based, but it's not. You can button mash the shit out of that and do all kinds of different moves and stuff. It's like working with Saban in 6, except it's all the time and it's almost all the characters.
And
they all have combo moves like Saban did.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that's the difference between Final Fantasy, at least the early versions versus the Tale series. Final Fantasy was always been turn-based up until 12?
Or
12
13,
was
12
the
or
one
13,
that-
one of those, yeah.
Even 12 is still technically turn based.
Well, yeah, technically you can, but it's like real-time turn-based or some shit like that. I don't have the name of it, but yeah. So I guess 15 is really probably the one that took away turn-based, the entire turn-based system.
Sure.
But Final Fantasy has always been pretty much strictly turn-based, and you got one character that attacks, or you plan all your attacks ahead of time, and you don't really get to do anything. You just kind of get your ass whooped if you fuck up. But with the Tales of series, because the Tales of series started back on the SNES versus the NES, like Final Fantasy did, they implemented real-time battle system. So where Char's right, in the very first Tales you can button mash the shit out of the game, but it does still take some skill, because like he said,
don't get me
made
wrong,
it all the way up to Deos, and I will vouch for this. I can understand his frustration. I will vouch for this. He made it all the way up to the tower with Deos, and Deos, I don't give a damn what mode you're in, it probably slip easy.
And for those that don't know the series, Deos is
he's the main
the main boss.
Of Tales of
villain.
Fantasia.
Okay.
And he actually appears throughout the series. He actually makes a full on appearance as a super boss in, or maybe not a super boss, but a fightable character in Tales of Vesperia.
Okay.
But yeah, he's the one that kind of started it all. The whole boss thing. There's a whole thing I'll get into when it's my turn. But
right. Oh yeah, we'll let you talk at length for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but you still require some skill. Like I said, Chard made it all the way to the top of the tower, and Deos will beat your ass just button mashing. And he has I believe 3 forms, because you got the first form when he got his little cloak on, then you beat his ass, he gets back up, you're like, all right, I'm about to beat his ass again. And it's like, oh no, this is not even my final form. And then he goes, gets this like angelic form, and it's like, yeah, I'm really about to fuck you up now.
Yeah.
There might actually, is there 4? Because there's like the standard humanoid form. No, there's 3. And then he turns into what we were jokingly calling Lavos 2. Because
he turns into that one.
He's designed to look kind of like Lavos. And then he turns into like the angel Kafka ripoff.
And that angel is not to be fucked with. No. So I can understand Char's frustration as far as the end of Tales Fantasia.
But you
Have
do
fun
have
at-
to control. You've got the other 4 characters. You have to control them too. Like they'll do
Yeah.
their own thing, but they won't do what you want them to do unless you fucking tell them to do what you want them to do. So
I
you got to
have-
be on top of them. Oh,
Very cool.
Yes, you have to cast indignation. Or let me say me. I cast
Indignation.
indignation multiple fucking times during that
Yeah.
battle just to keep his ass from doing shit.
Yep.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Very
Him
cool.
and Origin. You have to keep calling Origin,
Origin, yep.
or he's gonna, or you turn you can turn off other people's actions that aren't your main character.
Yeah.
So you can just wipe everything out and just have them do the one thing, and then hope that they're going to do what you need them to do when they need you to do it. But it's still turn-based in a sense. It's a lot faster. You got to think a lot faster because you're controlling your dude to do everything you want, but you also have to tell people in the back, "Hey, fuckers, heal me, please.
So-
I need heals like now."
Chard,
So-
do you prefer the turn-based style of the Final Fantasy then, or do you prefer the more active style of the Tales?
Turn-based. I'm a turn-based guy because I like to sit and think,
Okay.
and that's I can plan my next strategy going into the next.
It's more like a
attack that I have
chess
to do.
game where you can plan your moves
Yeah.
out, maybe several steps
Yeah.
in advance, I guess.
I'm
Yeah.
terrible at chess, but that's
It's kind of an
primarily
analogy,
like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what I grew up with. That's what I'm comfortable with.
Right.
Playstyle. That's what I grew
Well,
up
sure,
with.
sure. Is there any particular of the Final Fantasy games, since that seems to be kind of your main thing? Is there any? No, I'm not asking just basically what's your favorite, but is there any that had a specific storyline that you found impactful? Was there one that had something, maybe a specific moment that really touched you in a certain way that maybe none of the others did, or maybe no other game has? Or what are some of the special moments you can think of within those games that you would want to share?
I'm gonna curveball everyone because everybody's gonna expect me to say anything from 6 because that's all I ever talk about.
Sure.
And I'm gonna even curveball another one and not go to 4 since we started with that, and that one has the most nostalgia. I'm gonna go to 10. I took my wife to go see Distant Worlds last 2019, and we've never really gone to an orchestrated concert of any kind like that, and I've been playing the music year in and year out in the car, and she's like, "This is really pretty," and it was like, "They're coming to town. I really want to go see them." So we went there, and they did. I'm gonna fuck this up because I am not Japanese, but Sudake Dani, I think is what it's called or pronounced, and it's sung by Ricky, and it's one of the few vocalized songs in that spectrum because I know 9 had a vocalized song, and then 8 kind of had one at the open. This one was like its own theme song that had vocals over it, and she came out and sang that song, and it's the scene where they're in the water together, and it's all CGI'd, so it's
Right.
and it's PlayStation 2. Holy shit, my mind was fucking exploding during this whole scene.
Sure.
And that whole scene always got me
Right.
when I
Yeah, I
watched
know
it
the
on
scene.
the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And I looked over at her because she was singing it. It was the actual song. And she was like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Fucking right.
No doubt.
Right?
Yeah.
Fucking right." She goes, I've never even played this game and I'm already feeling it. I was like,
Yeah.
"Right? This fucking game is
music-
touching and cut you deep."
The
all
music
at
from
once.
those games, you don't need to be a fan of those games at all to
No.
enjoy. People are always, that are non-gamers that hear that music, are always I can't believe that's from a video game. That sounds like something you'd hear at an orchestra. That is that is a beautiful piece of music, and they really are. And they stand alone, and they're awesome. That's an awesome story too. Awesome, cool.
Yeah. So that's
And people get into this whole argument of saying that video games are not art, and I
They
say,
are definitely
listen
art.
to stories like that.
Oh, yes.
Get exposed
Go-
to something like that. And
Go
you
out
will
and make a
change your
fucking
mind.
video game and get back to it.
Beyond question, they are definitely art by every metric that I can imagine.
It's art, period. I
Yeah.
mean, think about it. I mean, we were just talking about the Tales of the series. You look at it. What's the main focus? The music and art. Takes music to make a game great.
Right.
It does. Music has to
does.
hit a certain way in order to make you feel certain emotions. The art style has to be pertaining to the music as well. They work together.
And gamers love the music in games. I mean, we're always talking about in my streams, and I know your streams too, when we're playing a game, oh my God, I can't believe this is one of my favorite tracks from this game. This game has such a great soundtrack. Whenever we play a game that does have one of those soundtracks, anything Final Fantasy, we're playing through Donkey Kong and Mario right now. We're talking about the music in that. It's important, and it's a small part of the art, of the art pie. Is that what we want to say? But art puzzle, of the game. It's just another piece of the art in and of itself that also contributes to the whole.
Right. And Bud, you'll agree with me on this one. I'm gonna look up at you. You and I are both on the same page that I in my opinion, greatest musical soundtrack in all the land is Chrono Trigger,
Amen.
without question.
Chrono
Without
Trigger
question.
is just
I
beyond.
got my Chrono Trigger
believable.
blanket just for this specific podcast
Nice,
line
nice,
out there.
nice. Yeah, he's doing
Flex,
a little. He's doing a little.
Flex.
Easily the best soundtrack ever
Yeah.
written in a video game.
There's some
in
others
my
that are really
opinion.
good too, but yeah, it's definitely my favorite. But that's my favorite game, so obviously that's going to be my favorite. But if you ever get a chance, and I know you've heard this chart because I think I showed it to you, was Chrono Cinematica. I think the guy's name is Sam Dillard, if I'm not mistaken. Listen to that. It's an orchestral version that he did of a lot of the Chrono Trigger music, and it is just stunningly beautiful. It's amazing.
You've heard of TPR, right? I've talked about TPR with you, right?
I think so. That sounds right.
He is a piano player that redoes
Yeah.
all kinds of different
Yeah, I think you
popular.
sent me his playlist on Spotify.
Yeah, he's done Final Fantasy VI. He did Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross. He just recently did Nier Automata or Nier Replicon. He's done Dark Souls stuff, and it's
Nice.
just like him and a keyboard, and it is and a key piano, and it is super fucking chill, and it is beautiful. It is absolutely stunning, and
Yeah.
I would recommend anybody to go listen to TPR, just the 3 letters TPR,
TPR.
and listen to any of that stuff because he's
Very cool.
one of my all-time favorites without question.
Definitely check out TPR. Awesome.
And if Retrosexual's in the chat, he knows he and I both like. Oh fuck, you like this guy too? I love this guy.
Yeah. I get that a lot with the Chrono Cinematic. I always say somebody's always like, "Oh yeah, that's so good." It is because it is good. And so I'm sure that stuff is too.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Have you been able to draw in new fans that are maybe not series diehards? I mean, obviously, you look at Dark and the way that he just spouses the world of Tales, and how you started the same thing with Final Fantasy. Have you been able to pull people in who aren't the diehards, who are maybe the noobs and have no idea what this is, and shall we say convert?
Right.
Convert the non-believer.
I don't know if I've been able to convert anybody to it because I'm not walking around with a. I mean, I have my Moogle Chocobo mug, but
Nice.
I'm not walking around with a fucking banner like Final Fantasy is the greatest game series in all the land. I'm not trying to
Get your
turn
megaphone.
anybody's eyes
Hey,
to
Final
that.
Fantasy.
Except I'm just trying to prove Captain Darky's wrong. That's the only reason I'm doing that.
That's
But
a good reason for anything. That's good enough reason for anything.
I just got to
All
get
right.
those jabs in there. But no, I get a lot of people that come over when we try something new that I've never played or finished, like Legend of Dragoon. We did Legend of Dragoon not too long ago, and I had people come in and be like, "This is my favorite game of all time." Follow. I've never seen anybody stream this before. I get stuff like that. So whenever we play someone's all-time favorite RPG, people come in and go, "Oh, I love. We're playing Phantasy Star 4 right now. Oh, I love Phantasy
Yeah.
Star. Come and hang out with
I
that."
never played
And then
that,
I
but that
tell
looks
them
like a great game. Yeah.
it's fun. I got a fun little story about that
Yeah.
one that might take too goddamn long to talk about. But this is kind of a blind playthrough of Phantasy Star 4, and we're doing the retro achievements for it. We're trying to 200% it.
Because you
And-
had Sega growing up. I remember you telling me.
Yeah.
So is that one of the games
Yep.
you played growing up then, or is that a series you looked at, or?
I was
Because you talked a lot about SNES RPGs, but I didn't know.
yeah.
Because
I didn't play.
Sega isn't
I didn't
as
have an
well known.
SNES grow up. My friend did. So I go to their house and play SNES, and they'd come over to my house and
Okay.
they'd play Genesis.
Sure.
There was, in my mind, nothing could top Final Fantasy, and Sega had no Final Fantasy stuff. The closest thing they had was Phantasy Star. And I also did Shining Force, which I hated when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Now love it as an adult because I get it now. I didn't get
Sure.
it then
You're
because
right.
it wasn't Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy was the end all be all.
You were
in
you
my
were in
opinion.
your Final Fantasy phase at that time, and
Yeah.
yeah.
So
sure.
I was just trying to find an RPG that played the same way, and Phantasy Star 4 was the closest thing I could get to matching that. So I'll tell the fucking story. So I rented it when you could rent games back from my grocery
I
store
remember.
called Bel Air.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every Friday
West
I would have a
Coast.
spelling test, and if I got 100% of my spelling test, I would go and I could rent a game. That was my dad and my agreement.
Very cool.
I don't know what happened because I can't spell for shit now. You'd think I'd be really good at it. So
You just needed it long enough to get the game, and then you got to
Yeah.
forget it. Yeah.
fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I got Phantasy Star and I played it, and you can't get very far in an RPG in fucking 2 days. What are you gonna do with that? So I returned it, and my birthday had come up, and I was like, I want Phantasy Star 4. I really want this game. So my parents gave me money. I think they gave me like $100, and I went to Target and I bought Phantasy Star 4 for $90 fucking back in 1996 or something like that.
Forget games were that expensive back then. Yeah.
RPGs were.
RPGs were, yeah.
You could get Sonic for fucking nothing.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
RPGs, but I mean,
Well, I
they
meant
were
any
long,
games.
drawn-out games.
Yeah,
So.
I meant that there were any games that were that expensive. Yeah.
Right. So I'm sitting in the car, and I am having buyer's fucking remorse sitting in the car looking at this. And I was getting a little guilt from some people about, like, I can't believe you spent that much money on a video game of all things.
Right.
And so I said, you know what? I could have used this for something else. So we went back to Target, and I traded it back in and got my money back for it. And I never touched it again until this year. So it's been 20, 30 something fucking years. It has been 30. It hasn't been that long, but it's been like almost
Good
30
while,
years since
yeah.
I've even touched it. And I put it up, and I was like, fuck, I should have just kept this fucking game.
Yeah, because you like
I'm having fun with this thing.
But you know
So-
what? You got a story out of it, and you got something for your stream to enjoy for the first time. So that's
and
definitely
it's
silver
fun.
lining.
I watched Laid Back with a Beer Ryan beat it, and I watched him finish the game up, and I went, oh man, this is bringing back some memories. I'm gonna have to look for this guy, and I found it, and now we're gonna play it. We're playing it ourselves right now, and I'm actually like really excited to get back to it. I really have enjoyed playing it.
Nice. How far along are you?
I can't be too far. I think we're 2 streams in,
Pretty
two
good.
5-hour streams in. I think
Pretty early
so maybe
on
10
in it.
hours
Very
in.
nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. Anything exciting you got going on with your stream currently, or any plans coming up? Any new news? I guess.
No, I've got an RPG list that, much like another streamer, Sarconius, just continues to grow.
Right.
And I have plans. I want to do a Legend of Mana or a Mana playthrough from Final Fantasy Adventure to however many of the games I can get my hands on.
Sure.
And I just don't know when I'm going to have the time to do it because everybody keeps requesting, and I've got a roulette wheel, and everybody spins it, and I'm trying to figure out where I can section my time out.
Yeah.
To do those.
Yeah, time management could be tricky with that kind of stuff, especially with RPGs because they take so long to get through.
Right, and I've unfortunately didn't pick like Bonk's Adventure where I can seemingly play it in 8 hours and finish it.
Right.
You know, and I play something that takes me, a month to finish one game. But I've started to stack them so that I can play more than one RPG at once and get more done with less time. And we'll see how
does that
quickly
work, or is it too early on to tell, or do you find that mentally taxing?
I think it works because I'm playing different enough stuff that it doesn't all drone together. Like if I was playing Final Fantasy 2 on Thursday and then Final Fantasy 3 on Friday and blah, 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 blah,
right, yeah,
I'd be like, okay, let's go.
You
let's
mean
play
kind of like
Cyberpunk,
playing 2
'cause I'm
Zelda games at the
sick of
same
this
time?
grind. Right. So because we're playing,
Get
I'm
back
doing
on Super Mario 2. It'll break things up.
No,
Yeah.
that's been put to bed. That's never happening. Yeah.
Yeah, you got through. Yeah, you were there. You beat it. I think I was there when you beat it. Yeah.
Last week I decided to. I had the last 2 weeks off from work because we shut down for Christmas, and I decided I was going to do this really dumb. It's a really stupid name, but I think it fits, and I'm going to keep it. It's called a retro boss rush, where I take
I like the name.
the platformers, because I'm terrible at platformers, that I couldn't beat as a kid and try and beat them as an adult. And we did Metroid 2, Samus Returns on Game Boy, the old black and white version, and I beat that in one day. Then we did Super Mario Brothers 2, which most of you were along for that fucking ride. That took me, I'd say 5.5 hours, because I streamed for 5 hours and then I came back the next day in 30 minutes I beat it. And then we did Zelda 2 reluctantly, and that took me 2 days to beat Zelda 2.
You got to do that in 2 days.
No, it took me 3 days
Still,
to get through
yeah.
Zelda 2. And we beat it New Year's Day. And
Those dungeons in Zelda 2 are hard.
I came on for 40 minutes, fucking beat the game, and said, all right, guys, thank you, Happy New Year, and turned off the stream and went and did my shit. It was the shortest stream I think I ever did that didn't involve technical difficulties.
All right, I'm done. I'm out later.
Well, you get to a certain point,
Yeah.
I was fucking done.
especially
I'm
with
out.
Zelda 2. I mean, you see
Yeah.
that, and it's just like, no, I got it. Thunderbird's dead. We're good. Dark Link's dead. We're real good. Out. Peace.
Yeah. I
By
did Dark
Thunderbird, you mean like a
Damage
bottle
List.
of Thunderbird?
I did Darkling Damage List, though, so I was pretty proud of that.
Nice, dude.
That's the only one I did
Very
Damage
cool.
List.
Very cool. Very cool. All right.
But yeah.
That's sad. I really haven't played a Zelda, the Legend of Zelda game. Like, well, I played it. I don't want to say that. So I played like Wind Waker, but I've never
Yeah, that's a
played
good
and beat
one.
them. So I never played. Oh, I guess I can say that I played the first one too on the NES when I was
Also
little,
good.
because I played it on at the Boys and Girls Club we had here. I forgot where it was, but we had one here. We could always play
nice.
like the original Metroid and the Legend of Zelda.
Oh, cool.
But I never really played and beat them.
My-
I think
I
the
got
first Metroidvania game I actually beat that I can recall right now is Hollow Knight.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I can't recall any of the Metroid, and I've probably beaten some other ones, but just like Chard, I'm pretty much a strictly JRPG guy, and unlike Chard, I'm a platformer game too.
Right.
I like to
Chard's
play
Chard's
Spyro and all that
yeah.
other shit.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight's fun. I didn't finish it. My wife got it for my birthday, and it's a beautiful game. The music is fantastic, and it's a lot of fun. But it does take some challenge. There's definitely some old school like NES style difficulty to some of the things you got to do, and it is Metroidvania, so obviously you're like, I'm here. Oh, I can't fucking go any further. I gotta go look 20. I don't want to go back there.
Yeah.
That's where all the shit was killing me. I don't want to go look around there.
15
Fuck.
rooms to the east. Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
must.
On the subject of Metroidvanias, you happen to have a particularly awesome badge that I would like to work for on Retro Achievements. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, my
The
first
original
ever,
Metroidvania.
my first ever Symphony of the Night, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That took me
Oh, it's all.
6 months to get. No, there's
That's
no
an
blowing of
awesome
knuckles.
badge. Yeah.
My
I
eyes
want that
start
badge.
to water up.
Yeah.
The thought of having to fucking do half of the shit I had to do that game again.
They could be
That game was-
struggles, man. Yeah, yeah.
That was tough.
That's the thing about Retro Achievements, man.
said
It's
it.
a
I've talked to
struggle,
you
but
about
when you get it,
it
it feels good.
times.
What, Paul?
Yeah. Oh,
The three heroes, the three false heroes, I was fixed. I'm sitting there doing dishes with my laptop sitting next to me on the counter as he's fighting the three false heroes in that game. And it just, 8 hours, 9 hours, and you're just killing it. And
me
finally,
a
when
total
you
of
got it,
10 and a half hours to beat that fight damageless.
I've
10
used
and a
this phrase
half.
before, but
That's dedication,
cigarette
man.
and a towel.
Yeah.
Says the
Piggyback.
man who's chasing coins in Mario Brothers. You want to talk about fucking dedication?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
speaking of that, piggybacking off of Bud question, Chard.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to do retro achievements? I know we have a system like that now, as far as the PS3, where we can start getting achievements and things like that, or trophies or achievements for Xbox players. Why did you start going back to the retro games and doing the achievements?
I'm gonna give our good friend Max Million of Game Squad a shout out here because he is the king of retro. He is the king of retro achievements. He is
the
number
Chivo
one in
man.
all of retro achievements. And I was playing Symphony of the Night because it was requested on the wheel to play, and I had never played it before. And Gal, one of Bud's mods, the mod here, Gal's my dude, was like, "Oh my god, Symphony of the Night is one of my all-time favorite Metroidvanians, if not my favorite Metroidvanian. Play this. Let's play this. You'll have a lot of fun." And for some reason, no one in our circle had gotten the badge for it. No Sarconius hasn't done it. At the time, Max hadn't done it. Gal was just getting into retro achievements at the time, but he didn't have it. Nobody that was like the people. Frank didn't get it.
Wow.
No one had it. So I was like, you know what? My inauguration into this shit is going to be doing this. And everybody, it's the same
an
thing
original,
when I said I was going to stream Final Fantasy. They go, that's big. That's big. That's big chunk to bite off for your first time.
I think I
And
might have
just-
told you that too. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody did, but everyone. And they were just, I was like, you know what? That makes me fucking want it more.
Yeah.
Just because nobody has done
You
it yet.
used that.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be the first fucking guy to do it. And
Nice.
as I was going, I was like, I'm never gonna finish this shit. What have I gotten myself into? And I was waiting for someone to like Sark to pick it up because they'd tease me. Frank would tease me. Max be like,
Yeah.
better hurry up. I'm gonna start playing it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be in it before you. And I was like, you sons of bitches.
It's
So-
tough when you're in the
and-
trenches like that. Yeah.
Right. And initially, I just said, fuck it. We're not playing anything until this is done. Well, I'm not doing a fucking thing till this is done. So we played it straight, day in and day out. And finally, I think March, we did it. It was right before the RMW event that we did, Bud. Literally the weekend before we
That's
did our
right.
RMW together, I got the badge for it. And then I ran the Richter run all the
right.
bosses.
Yeah, I do
and
remember that. Yeah.
and beat it like it was fucking nothing because I had played that game so fucking much. I knew
You
it.
could do
like
it in your
the back of
sleep
my
by that
hand.
point. Yeah.
And I was having dreams of turning into a bat and
Retro
being a
achievements will
dog
make you
and-
better
oh my
at
God, it
video
was awesome.
games if you do them and if you
yeah.
have that drive and that stick to itness to do
Yeah.
that tenacity to do it. Yeah.
If you're stubborn enough, you can do
If
retro
you're stubborn
achievements.
and if you're a stubborn
you
asshole
have
like
to be
us,
stubborn enough.
then you can do
Yep.
it. Yeah.
But I liked the game so much that it wasn't. I mean, it was a grind, and
Yeah.
Paul can contest to when I finally got that badge, I had to walk off the stream and scream into a pillow
Headphones
because I
off
was
if
so.
you-
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
exhausting,
I just
man.
walked off.
You
It's
feel
exhausting.
winded, man. I get breathless when I'm working
Yeah.
on some of these things. I'll be like catching my breath. I mean, man, I feel like I just fucking ran around,
Yeah.
a mile,
Yeah,
It's crazy.
and that
Yeah.
the Dracula, the barehanded Dracula fight, that reaction, all that shit is just all my emotion bubbling over of doing
Yeah.
the same goddamn thing, and finally do it. And Dr. Mega Man always says the same thing: you only have to do it once.
Yep.
You have to do it one time,
Yep.
once right. That's it. Just do it once right, and you're good.
And you're
so
done.
I'm sitting there doing this fight, and I'm like, I just have to do it once. It's all I have to do is do it once. And it turns into
I've
a
said that,
mantra.
yeah,
and it sounds
yeah.
like the ravings of a lunatic. You'd think behind
Just
me you'd
one
see
time!
like all the shit I've drawn up on the board on how I'm gonna fucking do it, Look like Charlie from It's Always Sunny in there, but
He just has the equations and the
when it's
strings connecting
strings,
points.
I got fucking strings and shit. But no, it's like you said, man, it is when you finally get it, it's just ooh.
It's this
shit.
simultaneous just rush from I did a thing that's really fucking hard and also the extreme relief of now I don't have to fucking do this anymore. It just hits
Right.
you those two ways at the same time, and it feels good and it pisses you off at the same time, and it makes you want to cry and laugh and scream into a pillow. Yeah, it's an emotional
Retro achievement.
Yeah, that's retro
does-
achievements. Yeah.
It encompasses every emotion you
Yeah.
never knew you had.
Yeah. I think speedrunners probably get that same sense too when they get a PB, but probably I don't know if it's probably to the same degree, maybe slightly more, but yeah, it's that same type of rush you get when you realize that man, I've got this done and now I don't ever have to fucking do it again.
Right. Until they, add extra shit like get all the coins.
Until they add 43
Super
new
Mario.
achievements to your Super Mario 64 badge.
But retro
You're
achievements
skipping
is for another podcast for another day.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah. We love retro achievements as a bottom line for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love,
at least
love
Bud and
retro
I do.
achievements. Yeah.
Bud and I might. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
say,
you, me,
fun
and
for me to
Gall are
watch,
the only.
but
Yeah, you, me, and Gall are the only. Well, that's half the podcast, so half of us are into retro achievements, half of us, I guess, are not. Yeah.
Say I'm out on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I play retro games. You won't catch me trying to do no retro.
That's the good thing
achievements.
about retro gaming, man. You don't have to do retro achievements. You don't have to speed run. You could casual play. You could speed run. You
Yeah.
could do retro achievements. You could make up your own challenges. It's like a variety. There's just so much damn variety in this. It's just such a unique area of Twitch that I love to death, and that's part of the reason is there's so many different ways to enjoy it. Now I think that's unlike any other directory on Twitch, and I don't think any other director can touch it for that reason.
And you could think of it this way: you're taking games that when you were a child are difficult, like Zelda 2 or Super Mario Brothers 2, for instance, or Super Mario 64, games that you were so proud to beat as a kid, and now wait, there's an extra like something else harder I can do to this.
Right.
To give me like some bragging rights to my friends. And
Yeah.
it's like for those of us who play fantasy football, maybe not all of us do, but some of us do, you get that bragging right, like, look what I got a fucking
Yeah.
badge for beating this game. And it's
But
just
it's
a badge
similar.
on the
Yeah.
internet.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
It's just pixels.
But
yeah.
but I can point at it and say, listen, I fucking did this
Check
shit.
out my RA
and
page.
I 200%ed this. So we've actually had a lot of people come in to all kinds of streams that have been like, what is this? What is retro achievements?
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah, I
we've
get it
gotten
too.
people hooked on it. Like streamers I've been watching forever that never touched them are now playing nothing but retro achievements and
I
going
love
back
that.
to old games that they
Yeah, I
love.
love that. I have
That's
that too.
really
People
cool.
come in all the time. What is this? And you explain to them, oh, wow, that's cool. I never knew about this. I got to check this out. And you bring in new people into the community. And that's a lot of fun just introducing it to people. And that's a part of the joy of running a retro achievement stream is that aspect of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Very cool. Very cool. I think, well, we got a little bit of time left. I'm getting no questions yet, so we don't got any audience questions. So we can feel free to talk about whatever. How's the weather?
How's
I
the
think we did get
weather?
some audience questions.
Did we?
Yeah.
I asked, and Lee said there was none in on air chat.
Huh.
a lot of people contributing to
certain
Flake
group
Vitcher
had
Island too,
one,
though.
and then
Yeah.
forgot what it was.
Oh, that's okay. We don't have to have audience questions. That's okay. This is brand new. This is our first time out. People are just finding out about this. It will grow, and it will
Right.
change. Oh, wait, we got one. Oh, we did get a question from Starry Nick. Starry Nick asked, being a solo, I guess this is the Q&A section. Being a solo streamed, Chard is playing a few games at a time better. Wait a minute. Let me read this again.
But
Better be
can't
good.
read.
This is my wife.
Being a solo stream Chard
Okay, I
is
get it,
playing
yeah.
a few games at a time, given better variety for viewers, or stick to one game.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I get the question. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be very much bullheaded about finishing games and finishing what I started, because I was seeing my list get bigger and bigger and bigger. And with, like I said, with RPGs, it's not something you can tackle overnight. You know, it takes a long time to get through some of these, especially when they're blind and you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Right.
So I find that spicing things up by adding different games on the list or throwing in something is not only good for the viewers, but it's good for me too, because there may be a game like Final Fantasy Tactics. I fucking hate that game. I could not get very far into it. I didn't give it a chance. I know everybody loves the damn game, but it just fell super short on me. And if I had even just knuckled down and tried to get through that, I would be miserable the whole time. And no one wants to see someone miserable the entire time. Yeah, people like to see you suffer.
Yeah,
people want to see you struggle and then succeed, you know, when you're struggling and all that stuff. But no one wants to see someone just fucking hate their life. And I would. Every day I played that game and be like, oh God, I just want to finish this. And it's not short. So it's not like, oh, we'll just pound through it and get
Just
it done.
power through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I find variety is the spice of life. As they
Okay.
say.
Oh, that's perfect answer. And I agree with that 100%. It's good to break up the monotony for not only the viewer but the streamer, because burnout is real. And if you're burnt out on a game for a long period of time, that is a very, very damaging thing to your community and your soul, pretty much, because you're just soul crushing, just going through that over and over for extended periods of times like that. Very good.
Right.
All right, we got another question here from Quirky for Chardmonk. What RPG game or series brought the biggest increase in new viewers / followers to your stream?
Ironically, it would have to be the year of Final Fantasy we did, because that was really when I was bringing my brand in and building my name into the RPG niche that I was doing. So I would say the biggest increase would be during that time frame of, oh, this RPG guy, this guy, he's only playing Final Fantasy, is all he plays. But it wasn't just 14, it was all of them. So a lot of people come in, this is my favorite, or I really like this one, or this one's terrible, why are you playing this one? I get that one a lot too.
Was there one in particular you noticed a bit more, maybe more hype, or maybe more activity when you were playing, or just seemed to be a little bit jiving better with the community?
I'm trying to think, because I played 6 pretty early, and I know that if I played 6 now, I probably have a bigger draw than I did back then.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I was still, that was really getting my footing in.
Oh, sure.
I mean, if you want to count 14 had a big pickup because that was a whole new environment, but that's an MMO, so I wouldn't really count that as anything. I would say, during the 7, 8, 9, the PlayStation span, I think
those are popular.
was the biggest one. Yeah, because there's a meme in my channel that I don't like 8. There's not anything in 8 that I really truly enjoy about it, but it's fun to poke fun at because there are people out there that fucking love 8. That's their favorite one, and I don't care for it. I don't think the story's very good.
The Elite Clips loves 8. Yeah.
Yeah, 7. 7. I always say that 7 was like the Beatles for Final Fantasy. That not a lot of people love the Beatles, but a lot of people respect what the Beatles have done.
Sure.
And that's kind of my analogy for Final Fantasy 7. So, not that I'm the biggest Beatles fan. I like the Beatles musically. And I know what they did for rock and roll music, but I'm not like Hard Day's Night is the greatest album ever made.
Well, no,
you know.
no.
So 7 to me is like it had its purpose, it had its moments, and I like the game. It's got great music and everything about it's cool, but it's just that to me. It's very middle ground. 9 I had never played before because I hated 8 so much as a kid that I didn't even want to touch 9.
Bother with it, yeah.
Yeah. So I played 9 and it shot up my holy shit, this one's fucking good. Like real good meter. It's in the top 5 easily.
So what were
so
oh, go ahead, finish.
so playing 9, when I'd finished 9, there's kind of an emotional moment at the end of 9 too, and I was like, I got choked up on the stream first time ever. I don't get emotional on stream for very much anything unless I'm screaming fuck or slamming my fist on the ground for anything like that. But 9 actually got to me towards the very end, and I was like, oh fuck,
nice.
This is actually really cool. So I think 9 might have been one of my bigger pickups for my RPG series.
So go ahead, Chard or Captain Dark.
See, look, see.
You got a C in your name, huh?
I can't. I see C, and I think the same. Yeah, go ahead, Captain Dark. I've been saying Chardmonk. I've been saying, God damn it. I've been saying Chard's name all week.
First of all, I want to commend you for not fanboying over Final Fantasy VII, just because, not only for namesake. I see a lot of people doing that. Over Final Fantasy VII. Oh, and we have people like that.
I like Final Fantasy VII.
Like I said, I'll get into that later. But people fanboy over Final Fantasy VII. It's like, and I like the way you put it. I respect what it did for the Final Fantasy series, but I don't care for it too much.
Well, now, I mean, it's just middle ground. I wouldn't say it's mediocre, but it's not the greatest game in the entire series.
Final Fantasy VII was my favorite Final Fantasy until I played Final Fantasy VI.
I think, my personal opinion, because Final Fantasy X, so this is a little biased as well. Final Fantasy X was my very first Final Fantasy that I got to play. I remember as a little kid, I seen Tidus with his fucking bubble sword. That's what I called it back then. So I seen Tidus just looking at it in the water with his bubble sword.
It's got bubbles in it.
I said, Mama, can I have this? This was back when Circuit City was still open.
Yeah.
I remember exactly where the Circuit City was, but you may know this location, but West 38th Street.
Yeah.
It was the Circuit City on West 38th Street. I remember going there as a kid. They had one copy of Final Fantasy X on the shelf. And I got the copy, I started playing. I couldn't wait to get home.
I bet.
I was begging Mama,
I remember those days.
She had to do this, that, and this, and that. And I'm like, Mom, let's go home. So I finally get home. It's late as hell. I can't even play the damn game that often. I get to boot the game, get past the first scene where I see Tidus kick the ball after he gets transported to Spirit. That's it. And then, I started going through the game, and this is where the bad part happened. So I get to Bevelle, and when the giant fucking Machina comes up with the 2 cannons on his arm, the game freezes. The disc, the disc didn't get fucked up. I misspoke. I told Lee this story as well. The PlayStation 2 laser was dying.
Oh, it was your hardware.
Yeah, it was. I had
no.
the fat version at the time, so I didn't get a slim till way later.
Oh, right.
Ooh. So I had the fat version. But anyway, once I got to the game, like Chart said, one of the best scenes in the damn game is when they're in the water. I'm not about to go there, but but they were in the water. It went down pretty deep. That's all I'm gonna say. And that scene on the PlayStation 2 just fucking, oh my god! As a kid, that blew my fucking mind.
Right?
The PS2 is an amazing system.
Yeah, I got a PlayStation 2 way later into my adult life. I think I was in my late teens, early 20s when I got a PlayStation 2. My ex bought it for me because she had gotten to the Air Force, and then with all her money, she's buying all the shit for us, right? So I'm at home, and the first thing, Captain Dar, as soon as I got a PlayStation 2, fucking went buy Final Fantasy X.
Oh, yeah.
First thing I did. As soon as I got that, I was like, fuck, I can play this finally. So I went out and grabbed it, and I sat in my parents' living room because we were packed up getting ready to PCS over to Germany. And I was fucking sat there night after night, come home from work, fucking sit there and play that game.
How'd you feel when you
played
heard
that game?
Go ahead.
Religiously, and then
Speaking
beat it
of
before we
that,
left.
How'd you feel about hearing voice acting in a Final Fantasy game for the first time?
Yeah, the voice acting, the fucking cutscenes, all that shit.
Yeah.
Captain Dark, how do you feel about that, man?
Okay, so first of all, I got a PSA about this fucking thing right here. This little bastard drove me nuts. Holy hell. If y'all having problems with this fucking system, and I will give it its respect because this is the PS2, so I gotta give it some respect.
Right.
But if you got a problem with the slim version, seriously, please check your laser and check your ribbon cable.
Yeah.
I was playing I was playing Jack 2 when I noticed it. Oh no, I was playing Tales of Legendia when I first noticed my PS2 having problems, and Abyss was just even worse.
Oh wow.
The ribbon cables in them are not too well. They bend they wear out. I mean, we're talking about a 20-year-old console at this point.
Right.
Right.
They wear out, and you can still get ribbon cables for cheap. So don't throw away your PS2s. Please don't. If you still got the original one, don't throw it away. You can buy a new laser. You can buy a new
Those are
regular.
Everybody's fixing up all their old retro consoles. COVID shelter in place. People were bored out of their freaking minds. Lord knows we're going to talk about this at length at other episodes.
Oh, sure.
But he was like, shoot, I'm going to bust out a Wii. Crap, one of the controllers isn't working. I need a new controller. Or if I can find something that looks like an OEM controller for my NES, because I'm used to that feel of that little fucking brick.
Mm-hmm.
And that also jacked up prices.
Right.
But the stuff is out.
Yeah.
It's definitely out there.
It's a fun hobby too. Yeah,
I know a couple websites. Obviously, eBay's one of them, but Rich PSX Parts is a good place where you can get PlayStation components as well. I bought a couple lasers, and on eBay, I actually just bought the 5-pack of ribbon cables, and I jacked one up. The way you glue them down, you got to be precise when you glue them down. So this time I didn't glue it down. I actually just stuck the ribbon cable into the laser first, and then into the motherboard. But yeah, now my PlayStation 2 works like a fucking dream. It actually looks better, matter of fact.
Awesome.
But anyway, back onto what Char's question was as far as Final Fantasy X, the voice acting and whatnot. Of course, like I said, it was my very first Final Fantasy, so I never even knew the other ones besides like SNES and NES. I didn't even think they would have voice acting. Now I know they, or at least the SNES versions could have, but they didn't. But
storage limitations might have been an issue, but
right. But as far as Final Fantasy X go, besides that awkward ass scene in 10 we all know about, the voice acting was actually exactly. I loved every moment of Final Fantasy X. The voice acting, especially at the time, was top notch.
Right.
And
the whole scene's supposed to be awkward. It's supposed to feel weird. You're not supposed to like it because it's a fucking awkward fucking moment.
Right.
Now, I think the thing that really stuck me with 10, because I spent so many hours as a kid, is Blitzball.
You like the Blitzball? Huh?
Blitzball.
You know, Blitzball wasn't a bad game.
Much of my time.
Yep.
Oh my god, I swear I had like 50 hours in the game, and most of it was spent on Blitzball.
Blitzball.
Once I got the airship, I said fuck everything else. I went on a recruit mission.
I liked it.
And then I realized
that
like the original Besaid Oryx was great, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I said I'm about to use the original Besaid Oryx. I went on a murder spree. I just kept playing, and I said, man, I wish this shit was online. It even got to the point where I knew the PlayStation 2 had online capabilities. And I had the disc somewhere. I could never find it. And I was just praying that if I found this disc, could I play this game with other people online? I was looking for that work. I wanted all types of smoke in Blitzball. And even when they remastered the game, I was hoping they would do that. Of course, they didn't. No. But I was hoping they would do that. I heard they might do it in 14. I don't know. If they do, they might draw me into 14. But even then,
that'd be interesting.
It might not play the same.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, guys. Well, we're just a little bit over an hour now. That's about how long we were going to run this. This has been tremendously fun, guys.
Yes.
I have enjoyed the hell out of this. I hope you guys did too. I hope everybody watching and listening has enjoyed getting to know us a little bit on our inaugural episode. Chard, I love you, man. You did great. Your stories were great. You were a fantastic guest. I really enjoyed your segment and everything about it. Paul, Captain Dark, I did it again. You guys were amazing too. It was so much fun working with you guys. Yeah.
But I'm like the only fucking black person in here. That has to be said. Come on.
Fair enough. It's good. Well, I hope you like working with me.
I guess that we found out something new about me tonight. And I found out something new about Captain Dark.
Shit.
Oh, man. They say there's no such thing as a colorblind society, but they haven't met me. No.
This is fun, and I look forward to talking with everybody else in our round robin 6-person, 4-person square that we have. This is great telling my stories, but I'm very eager to hear Paul's and Captain Dark's and even yours, Bud.
Same.
About how we got to where we are and why a person like Bud can stand chasing coins for fucking hours on a Sunday, and why Captain Dark is.
I can't. I just do it anyway.
I want to know why Captain Dark is. I want to be in Captain Dark's mind for his feelings about Tales. I want to feel how he feels about it because
you're gonna know next Sunday.
Yeah,
Sick.
yeah.
Love
Next
it.
Sunday, you're up, Captain Dark. I'm saying I'm really
and Paul is
emphasizing your name now.
Multi-talented, multi-instrumental and vocal, and he's such a fucking force of nature. I want to know how that drives him in too, and what makes him think of the clever shit like the newscast thing when trolls pop in, and how he decided to design TFG to be, you know, what it is. I love the family friendly afternoon, morning, and then let's grab some beers and some fucking scotch and let's yell at Link. Let Link Ocarina of Time, you know, kind of stuff. I love to hear all that from everybody. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we're going to be inviting a lot of you guys out there watching who would like to participate. You know, you don't have to join us if you don't want to, but we'd like to have you guys on and get to know a lot of the community and kind of have everybody share their stories in a similar format. This has been a lot of fun. I'm going to call this a success. I loved every minute of it. I'm looking forward to our next episode coming up Sunday where we will feature Captain Dark. If you guys are just catching us, or if you missed part of the episode, or if you didn't get to catch any of this will be uploaded to YouTube tomorrow. If somebody just types exclamation YouTube in the chat, there will be a link to the YouTube channel at about 6 p.m. Eastern time, as well as all the major podcast platforms. And so you'll be able to listen on audio or watch on YouTube at your leisure. And we really appreciate you guys out. Does anybody have any closing thoughts they would like to add?
Yeah,
Mods?
I'm going to be that guy that adds to the Adventure Islands 2, you know. I think everybody should vote for that.
I won't do it.
Don't do it. No, don't do it. If you do it,
But
you're banned.
I stand on your side, man.
If you do it, you're banned. You're
I'm not doing it.
banned.
You're banned. You're fucking banned.
You're banned.
Fucking banned.
You're banned, Gall.
I have to troll, but I have
Yes. Hey, if you didn't troll me, I'd think you was mad at me. All right, guys. I think that does it for the first episode of the BCTV podcast. I can't even say the name of my own podcast. Welcome, and thank you for hanging out with us. We really enjoyed it. I look forward to the next episode. We're going to go ahead and sign off. Guys, stay with me. We'll see you guys again real soon. Love y'all. Take care. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you.